What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario, aka the real Super Mario here, bringing you another Fire Emblem Engage video. Alright, so we are about 4 days away from the release of Fire Emblem Engage at the time of recording this video. So this is going to be the first of maybe 3 videos this week. I'm thinking 3, and I know at least 2, but I might be able to get a third one out to get you guys ready for Fire Emblem Engage. So we're finally going to go through the classes. And I have to say, just looking at this and just reading this, I've been reading this through the weekend. This is one of the most complex gameplay systems I've seen in a Fire Emblem game to date. And it's so complex that it might be a problem. I mean, I can get it. It's just that I think it might be a problem for new people. Because what I've always said about this game is this game is an in-between Fire Emblem game. So this is like, when I mean in-between, like Nintendo's methodology for their games nowadays is you have your casuals playing the mobile game, and then you have your hardcores playing the hardcore, the regular game. And then there's always an in-between game, like a Pokemon, like a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee type of thing. Something that kind of balances out the elements from the mobile casual game, but also introduces elements from the hardcore game, but kind of stripped down. And it's an in the middle game that you can play, you know, that the casuals can play to say that they're kind of playing a hardcore game and to kind of get their toes in the water to maybe eventually jump over. And this is something that hardcores can play, you know, just to kind of knock out real quick. And this game, at first, seems like that's what it was, because it introduced so many heroes elements into it. But it seems like this might be more than that, because the class system with the engage system, with the other ring system, all of this together is very complex. So if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me, as well as follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like the video, tweet, share the video, tweet, and I will shout you out at the end of the video. I do have a couple of shout outs that I forgot, but I will definitely get you guys. Not to mention, definitely hit that subscribe button, because about 80% of y'all are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to continue getting videos like this, all you gotta do is hit that button, man. Super easy. You know, hopefully the goal for this year is monetization. So that's a little less than 300 subscribers away from 1,000. I definitely think we can get there this year. So let's get into the classes for Fire Emblem Engage. Alright, so like I said, this could possibly be one of the most complex Fire Emblem games as far as like some of the gameplay stuff, because each character has a class and each class has a type. So like, say you want to talk about, there's a Lord class, and one Lord class is a backup type and the other Lord class is a covert type. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's classes, and then each class has a type. You know what I'm saying? And then some classes, some types have multiple classes, and there's a lot to it. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. So the types of classes are Dragon, which basically boosts your engage skills. So basically, any engage skill you have, it boosts it by 1. So like, say Lodestar Impact is Marth's engage skill, right? Engage attack, and it gives you 7 attacks, right? Then Dragon will give you an additional attack to make it 8, because it's a Dragon skill with an engage, a Dragon type class with an engage skill. You see what I'm saying? So then you have Backup, which Backup is probably one of the most interesting ones, because Backup essentially allows you to chain attacks with other people. So say if you have one person that's attacking an enemy, and then adjacent or right near that person is a person with a class that is a backup type, then they can chain an attack with the person who's attacking the enemy. So person A will be attacking, And then our backup type class person, which is person B, might chain their attack with person A during person A's turn. Which I'm like, that's kind of cool. I could definitely see me using this with an archer. So have like a backup class archer, and then have the regular person A attack, and then the archer who's in range, because as long as you're in range of the opponent, you can chain the attack. The archer will just follow up with an archery attack, which that would be sick. Covert just doubles your terrain bonuses, so that's for like thieves and stuff like that. So basically, if you get like +2 defense because you're on a forest tile, then you get +4 defense. Q Adept is an interesting one. I think they made this because they realized that backup was too powerful. So Q Adept allows you to block a chain attack. So like, say again, say you have a person and they're getting attacked by person A, and then person B, you know what I'm saying, who is a backup, goes to do that chain attack. Q Adept will block that chain attack for up to 20% of the overall HP of that character, which sounds kind of broken because, or sounds kind of dumb, because what if the attack is more than 20%? It's more to it that I have to learn, but it sounds interesting though. Of course, Mystical basically ignores terrain bonuses when you're using magic, so that's a magic type. Armor basically means you can't be broken. So when you another feature in this game is being able to break someone's defense, and that basically plays into the weapon triangle. So if you break somebody's defense because your weapon is better than theirs in the weapon triangle, they can't counterattack for like 2 or 3 turns. So and the thing is, that can also happen to you. So you have to keep the weapon triangle in mind, because now there's a real consequence to it. You know, but armor characters can't be broken, so it doesn't really matter for them. Of course, cavalry characters have high movement, and flyers have high movement, and they're unhindered by terrain, so they're not slowed down by, like, you know, sand, or they're not blocked by water or whatever, you know. All right, so we don't have all the classes, but we do have most of them though. So the first one is Dragon Child. So Dragon Child is your stereotypical, like, this is the main character's class. So Dragon Child, of course, is a dragon type class. You use swords. It promotes into Divine Dragon, which uses swords and body arts. So basically, you can square up with somebody as a dragon. You know what I'm saying? And of course, because it's a dragon type, all of its engage skills and engage attacks are boosted by 1. So then you have the Noble, which is your horse rider class. He's your lance based cavalry class. He of course is a cavalry type, so he gets that boosted movement, and he promotes into Avenir, which again is basically, you know, your paladin class, because he can use swords or lances. So then you have Noble, which is a class that uses swords and tomes. So this is basically your sword, your spell sword class, essentially. And they're a mystical class, so their magic attacks ignore terrain bonuses, and they promote into Veldane, which they get magic, swords, and they get healing attacks. So that's kind of lit, you know what I'm saying? That's super lit. And again, they still get mythical. They're still a mythical type, mystical type. So then we get where it gets interesting. So now they start duplicating classes. So you have the Lord backup class, which is Diamante's class, which promotes into the successor. I think it's French. It's successor. And so the Lord backup class uses swords, and the successor class uses swords and axes. And then the Lord Bow class, the Lord Covert class uses bows. So essentially, a bow-based Lord class, which I don't think I've ever seen that in Fire Emblem. Well, technically, I think the dude in the guy in from Hoshido, from Fire Emblem Fates might have been a bow Lord class, but that evolves into that basically promotes into Tyru de Elite, which basically translates into like sniper, essentially. And they exclusively use bows, and they are the covert type. All right, so that's about it for this one. So I am gonna do a part 2 of this video tomorrow, because I didn't want the video to be 20+ minutes long. So this is a pretty good place to stop, because this is a lot of our main character classes right here. We got some more main character classes tomorrow, and some of the other cooler classes. So you can tune in, same channel, same place, around the same time, depending on if I can get the video out on time. Time management skills are not something that I have. But yeah, that's about it. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff in order to continue getting videos like this from me. Subscribe, because 80% of you guys are not subscribed. Follow me on Twitter, and as always, people, keep it real.